women think it's kind of like, maybe it's inbred in us, I don't know, but it doesn't seem right to be ambitious or to actually want to make money. And when I ran my business, I had to make money. I had to make 20 grand a month minimum to cover overheads. So that was my baseline, 20 grand a month had to be made. Anything on top of that was kind of like extra. And there's other businesses out there obviously have to earn a lot more than that each month to cover their baseline. But the thing is, money is what makes the world go round. They say love and all that kind of stuff, and it agrees. But in the business world, money is what you actually are striving for. And when I sold my business and I sold it for a very good price, that was all that hard work I had put in for 11 years. That was my super payment. I reckon my superannuation payment given to me at the end of the sale. When I ran my business, the only way to get my staff involved was actually when I wrote the marketing strategy, I shared the marketing strategy with them. So when I wrote the marketing strategy, at the end of each 12 months, before the new financial year started, I would sit down and I'd say, right, who are my top clients, VIP clients? How much money have they given me? Okay, how many more of those VIP clients do I want? And I call them VIP clients because they always come back to you. They never ask for a quote and they refer you work. To me, they're VIP. They've always got VIP treatment. So I would then work out, right, I want X amount more of these clients. Where am I going to find them? Property sector, mining sector, small business sector. How am I going to go out and recruit them? And I actually would then enlist my staff's support. And I would say, right, because we were a service industry, I say to my staff, you need to earn, each of you need to earn this much money, and I'm earning this much money. And how we're going to do that is by doing this. And then if we got to the end of the financial year and we had reached our goals, because I shared them with them, the financial goals as well, then we celebrated. And there usually was some kind of cash incentive to go with it. If we got there beforehand, I didn't wait then until the end of the year. I would celebrate and then I'd say, right, we've reached our goals. Let's reassess now and start again with our planning. And so it was, you have to kind of like drive it and you have to talk about it. So every week we'd have a meeting and I would sit down with my team and I'd say, right, we're on target or we're not on target with our financials. That's great news. You've signed up X, Y, and Z, you know. And so it was always talking about our goals and how we were actually travelling against those goals. If you talk about it a lot, it becomes ingrained. It becomes part of your motivation. But you really do need your staff to be part of that process so they understand why you're doing what you're doing. At the end of the day, it's not a dirty word to say I'm in it for the profit. Because one of the reasons why I've also chosen motivational speaking is the speaker's fees you get given. And so I'm thinking to myself, how do I work 3 or 4 days a month and make ideally 20 grand? So there is still, in my talent, there's an economic tick box, okay? And that is cool. It is important that you are aware of those economic drivers and that you are focused on them. A number of times I've gone into a business and I've said to a business owner, what did you make last week in their retail? And they've gone, I don't know. And 6 weeks later, I've gone in there every week and I've said when I was business coaching, how much did you make this week? And they've gone, I don't know. And eventually after the 6th week, I remember this one guy told me, and I was like, yay, you finally know what your business is making. And he's like, but it's not making money. And I'm like, well, at least you now know that. So how do we turn it around? If you don't look at your financials, if you keep your head in the sand, what actually happens is the situation gets worse. That's what happens when you don't address something. It gets worse. So you actually need to address it. And you need to talk about it with your staff. And I think that once you start, it becomes a dialogue that is very common and no one thinks odd about it because it's part of that culture. It's part of your charter for success. And that's one of your measures. You might have how many clients repeat business with you. You might have how many new clients you bring on. But economics and the financial side is definitely something to measure and celebrate.